Raider Nation, what's going on? You guys are watching the Raiders Report. Before I get into today's mailbag, if you guys are in Las Vegas, if you plan on going to the Raiders vs. Chiefs game, or if you don't have plans, come watch it with me at my watch party at Red Tail. If you want to go ahead and get some awesome drink deals, you go to theblackholeevents.com, use code Mitch to save 20% off. If you don't want any drink deals, it's all good. It's free to come to. Please, let's go ahead and let's pack the house. Big time super chat from Jack Bishop. If the Raiders sign OBJ, hook me up. Mitch, the super is for you on behalf of Raider Nation for hooking us up every week with the best Raiders news all the time. We appreciate you. And to your boss, tell the man you deserve a raise. News on out injuries, all love. I don't know who out is, and I wish I could. Our injuries. Unfortunately, as I'm currently making this video, it's on Tuesday, and I don't have really anything going on with Trayvon Mullen. I don't think he plays. I don't think Richie Incognito is going to be playing this week, so we'll try to keep you up to date. Definitely one that I want to monitor is Jacobs, but I appreciate it, and I'm glad that I'm allowed to continue to do what I love to do here. But if OBJ ends up going to the Raiders, Jack, I think we might be able to hook you up with a jersey or something. All right, let's go to Barman Amok. Ruggs' story still got me down. I'm a Raiders fan since the 70s and a career bartender. All I ask of Raider Nation is to be smart when you party and take care of one another. Let's all have a good time, but let's keep our ship sailing to victory. And I do think that's a good point to be able to make. I mean, I've lost actually somebody from a drunk driving incident, and it does really impact a lot of people, and I am still like physically ill thinking about it, and I know it's maybe a selfish way to think about it, but my girlfriend, she's 23. Obviously, I got my dog Chuck, and I just can't even imagine losing them. And then you got to think about from her side of the family, and then even Ruggs' family. I mean, that's absolutely devastating. And then all those players in the locker room. I mean, you're right. I will say I wore my Stronger Together shirt the other day because this has brought me closer to a lot of other Raiders people, but this just goes to show that Raider Nation's literally the best fans in all the world. Let's go to David Taken. We need to go get Adams this offseason. I've said it for a long time. I didn't think the Raiders were obviously going to go out and get any receivers in free agency in 2022 because of a lot of the young receivers blossoming, but now I'm kind of shifting gears where I'm saying I am all on board Davante Adams 2022 train. Let's go to Jerry Drills. Jaylon Smith is available and had 154 tackles last year. Should we get him? I mean, I get that he had 154 tackles, but I always say, and like Jaylon Smith is the perfect example of this, sometimes tackles are the most overrated stat out there. Remember Tahir Whitehead? That guy couldn't cover anyone. Even if he had a blanket, he couldn't cover anyone. So, like, this is the exact same situation with Jaylon Smith. I'm simply going to say no. I want no business of having Jaylon Smith. All right, Sam, I think you're just trying to troll me now. Should the Raiders go out and sign Jaylon Smith? Type Y for yes or N for no. I know some people are going to type Y for yes. You're going to be like, oh, the Raiders' run defense has stunk the last few games, especially against running backs, which you're not wrong. But Jaylon Smith is not the answer to our problem. So please, if you see anybody out there saying the Raiders should go out and get Jaylon Smith, send them this video and say, wrongo. Let's go to Farico. What up, ma'am? What Notre Dame player would be best fit for the Raiders? Myron Tagovailoa, Amosa, Kurt Hinish, Joshua Lugg, Avery Davis, and Drew White. Well, you're going to absolutely hate me for saying this, but I don't start doing my draft analysis on a lot of players until the season's over because what I do is I look at the Raiders' biggest needs and I say, okay, like right now I think the Raiders' biggest need is defensive tackles. So that means I would go ahead and I would start scouting all the defensive tackles. I don't watch a lot of Notre Dame football, and I feel bad that I can't answer your super chat, but I also don't want to come up here and bullshit you and give you some answer that is not honestly true. I will do my scouting once the season ends. Let's go to Doc Holliday. Your country is in constitutional crisis. Pay attention. All right, Doc. Let's go to Armando. What if we sign OBJ for a small contract, have OBJ and Djax along with the rest of our offense? We need to go all out with this AFC West being strong. I mean, OBJ, I actually wouldn't be surprised if he ended up going to a team like Kansas City as well, but with multiple reports out there from people that I personally trust saying that the Raiders are a little bit worried on how his fit would be with the locker room because the way that the Raiders' offense works is about spreading the ball around. That's never been a big thing for Beckham. But do I think he would fit in our offense? Yes, absolutely. Do I think he could be somebody that creates separation? For sure. Would I like him more than Zay Jones? Absolutely. And the more options you have for Derek Carr, that's going to help out the offense a lot. And if you can have him against the Kansas City Chiefs, man, that'd be great, but I don't see it happening. All right, y'all, so we have a big-time game this week up against the Chiefs, and I got a few of my buddies who I know from down here in Dallas. They're going to go to the game, but they're Chiefs fans, so I want to be able to show them what Raider Nation is all about. So if you come across this video, go ahead and type FKC, and I want you to be screaming FKC the entire week, the entire weekend, especially if you're in Las Vegas and if you want to come to my live watch party. If you want to come to my tailgate, it's 100% free to come to. It's going to be located at Red Tail in Resorts World, which is, yes, it's like a bar restaurant. It's freaking dope. If you haven't seen it yet, check them out on IG. But if you want to go ahead and get some drink tickets, some VIP seating, you can save a few bucks, and you're actually going to save probably more than a few bucks. Go to theblackholeevents.com. Use code Mitch. We're going to be able to go ahead and save 20%. If anybody has any questions about the event, you can always hit me up on IG, always hit me up on Twitter, but I promise you, you're going to have a lot of fun. They have like those adult-size beer pong cups. They have like the basketball shooting thing. They have the adult-size, Jenga, pool tables. It's just an unbelievable place. Come ahead, come chill with me. Red Tail at Resorts World, 100% free to get into starting at 3:20 p.m. Pacific time. Let's go to Gerald Hodge. You think we will get OBJ? Honestly, I don't. And I said last week that I would put a lot more money on us getting Deshaun Jackson than Odell Beckham Jr. I would probably give it only one no Chucky head at this point. What up, Matteo? Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Do we have the money to sign OBJ? Well, technically, yes. So since he cleared waivers, the Browns, I believe, were responsible for like $4 million of his $7.25. But now whatever team he decides to go to, they basically give him a brand new contract. So, like, if the Raiders can get to a deal where they're like, hey, man, 1 year for the rest of the season for $2 million, would you be interested? Maybe he goes ahead and says yes to that because he's already gotten $4 million from Cleveland. But it's going to be wherever he wants to go, and he wants to go to a contender. He wants to go to an offense that he thinks fits him well. I believe personally he's going to end up going to the Green Bay Packers, but, hey, we'll see. Let's go to C. Marino 195. Mitch, Josh Reynolds just became available. He is a balanced wide receiver, has great hands and a route running ability with some good speed. I would sign him because he is only due $500K. Again, guys, if a receiver gets released, it's a brand new contract. So $500K, that has nothing to do with anything. Now, I actually did like Josh Reynolds when he first came out of Texas A&M. I thought that he didn't really quite get used all that much with the Rams. Then he went to the Tennessee Titans. He couldn't really make a good spot in that offense, which is more of a run-first offense, though the fact that he got released does make me question a little bit his ability and maybe his overall health because Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, those receivers are always banged up, but he is a little bit of a taller guy. He's probably more of just a red zone threat. He doesn't really fit, I think, what the Raiders need. The Raiders need more speed. Josh Reynolds is not a fast receiver. And next one's coming in from Big Baller Brandon. Sorry, Sam. Who will be the Raiders' top free agent target in 2022? On the offensive side of the football, if it's up to Derek Carr, I mean, he's already said he's going to do whatever he can to go out and get Davante Adams. So I think Davante Adams is probably going to be the top free agent target unless you go out and get some other receiver and they just absolutely shine for you. But I'm going to go ahead and say it's Davante Adams in 2022. Now, if the Raiders go out and sign Davante Adams, I understand, like, during the season, it's easy to make videos because there's content out there. I think what separates this Raiders channel from other Raiders YouTube channels and, honestly, either other Raiders podcasts, I will get you a video every single day, 365 days out of the year. So, like, I take a lot of pride in that. There will never be a day unless something absolutely crazy happens with my family or to me personally, you guys will get a video. So if you want to be able to stay up to date with everything going on with the Raiders now, during the draft, during free agency, during May, March, it doesn't matter what month it is, I got you covered. Hit the subscribe button. All right, David, you're next up here on the show. Hey, Mitch, I hate how fans are quick to hate on Derek after a bad game, but then jump on his bandwagon as soon as he wins a game. Just a statement, which I get. I mean, Derek's probably coming off his worst game of his season where, had a touchdown, 2 picks, a pick 6, but the Giants defense has been playing a lot better. I also am going to point the finger and say that the Raiders receivers didn't do a very good job, but DC deserves a lot of blame for the play of the Raiders for not really even being able to execute in the red zone as well, but I am with you, and it just kind of goes with the whole what happens to the quarterback, because usually what happens is on every NFL team, They're called lazy fans. The fans that I'm going to refer to a term that my family uses for people that only go to church on Christmas and Easter. They're creasters. Where if Derek Carr has a bad game, they start popping their head out like, oh, he had a bad game? Now I'm going to go ahead and trash Derek Carr. Don't worry about those Raider fans, because real Raider fans know that DC is a very good quarterback, having a very good season, and imagine putting up with everything that Carr's put up with his entire career. Yeah, it's insane. Let's go to LI Raider 312. Everyone is saying if we get a new head coach, Carr is gone. Honestly, how do you replace him? Not liking the quarterback cropped in the draft. Now, I've actually gone ahead and said this exact same thing. Usually when a new head coach comes in, they want to go ahead and they want to get their own quarterback. Now, I personally think that if you bring in a new head coach, and the only way you're keeping Bisaccia is if I think they win the division, they win a playoff game, and obviously if they win the Super Bowl, then you're probably going to end up keeping them. But if you bring in a new head coach, he is probably going to go ahead and bring in his own quarterback. But I would keep Derek Carr for the final year of his contract, $19.9 million. Let the new quarterback learn underneath him, and then it's probably going to be the end of Derek Carr's career. Whether you like that or not, it's just kind of the way it goes. But you do have to think how you're going to be able to build your team. Do you want to give DC over $30 million? Because that's what the contract extension is going to look like. And a new head coach is probably not going to do that. Let's go to JT Douglas. DC elite between the 20s, subpar in the red zone. Proof. Great stat sheet, not win column. 8 needs red zone snaps. I actually agree that Mariota deserves to get on the field more in the red zone, and considering the fact that the Raiders were 1-6 this past weekend, the biggest issue for this Raiders offense, basically the last 3 years, has been they can move the football, and they moved the football against the Giants for over 400 total yards, but they couldn't get it into the end zone. And if you are worried about not having a playmaker like Ruggs being able to get some things opened up for you, and you need to be able to run the ball a little bit more, Mariota is going to add that extra run element, and even when he doesn't run it himself, defenses have to respect his ability to run, which then opens up things for Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, whoever the hell the running back's going to be. So I do agree that Mariota deserves more snaps, but I'm not going to sit up here and say he deserves more than 10 snaps a game. Honestly, I don't even know if he deserves more than 5, but he deserves to go out there in some of those key clutch situations where you need to pick up a first down or you need to go ahead and get in the end zone. 5, 6 snaps, I'm going to say max. All right, guys, if I didn't get to your question during this mailbag on our live show, remember, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Mitchell Renz 365. My DMs are open. I know this morning I woke up and I think I responded to 98 people that were in my DMs. So I know I try to get to about 100 a day. So if I don't get to you every day, man, I try my hardest. I really do. Y'all are just such a passionate fan base, and sometimes it can get a little difficult. Though I do find it funny when it's like 5:30 in the morning. I just took out my dog Chuck, and Alex is like, who the hell are you messaging? I'm like, you know what? I'm messaging Juan Hernandez because he wants to know what's happening with the Raiders. I mean, it's just how it goes. What up, Angel Hernandez? Death Star is the best replacement over Chucky Heads. Plus, even if it's mid-season, I want the Raiders to go all out on KC. I like the idea of doing a Death Star, but again, the biggest issue when you make content for a creator is copyright. Disney owns Death Star, so I'm telling y'all right now, it's not going to look like the Death Star from Star Wars. It can't look like Allegiant Stadium either. I have to basically create my own, and then it's kind of like, well, is it still a Death Star? That's why I like Just Win Babies, because it's got the play-on name, and it's not trademarked, so like there's a difference there. All right, we got one coming in from the greatness of the Raiders. Should the defense blitz more against KC? Honestly, man, I'm pretty confident what Gus Bradley's been able to draw up. The Raiders right now are dead last in the NFL in blitz percentage. I believe they're at like 12.78%, not to be exact, but they've done a good job stopping the pass. They're top 6 right now in the league stopping. What they need to do is not give up the big runs or not give up the big pass. So in terms of blitzing more, no, let Gakwe, let Max sit back there, pin their ears back, and get after the quarterback. I do actually think, though, you're going to see more Malcolm Kuntz, though, in this game. What up, Gabe? Do you think we should replace Stoner? No. With Marquise Lee if we don't get OBJ. So Marquise Lee did end up working out with the Raiders on Tuesday. Him and Jaylon Strong, both the receivers that the Raiders worked out. I like Dylan Stoner, but he is definitely more of a possession receiver. I think Jaylon Strong would be the more replacement for Dylan. The replacement, Marquise Lee, he's more of a burner. He's more of just a straight line speed, throw it deep kind of guy. He's probably your just in case Deshaun Jackson gets hurt type of receiver. Let's go to Stan Lara. If you think Jacobs won't be worth the money next season, who do you see replacing him in the draft? So you're not gonna replace Jacobs next year in the draft because you already have Kenyon Drake. And I like Jacobs. Jacobs is a hell of a running back. I think he's top 10 when he's fully healthy. It's just, I don't see the Raiders extending Jacobs due to all the health concerns that he's already had. He's going to be making about $3.6 million, I believe is going to be his cap hit next year. So they're going to have him. They're also going to have Kenyon Drake. Those are going to be your top 2 running backs. And then it's going to be time for you to bring in a running back through the draft. So Jacobs, Drake, those are going to be your 2 running backs next year. Cheers to you. What up, LI? Victory lap 2 Victory lap 2 times this year, FKC. So for those of you that don't know what he means, you remember the whole story when the Raiders went to Kansas City last year. They took down Patrick Mahomes. They took down the Chiefs. And then Gruden was basically told the Raiders bus to do a victory lap. Hell yeah, man, I'm with you. I want 2 victory laps this year. And if they do it again in Arrowhead, I want like 10. And I might even fly out to the game to do a victory lap with them. What up, Mike? Appreciate you, brother. Should trade down in the draft and get more picks, those steals in the later rounds. I will say I'm not always I'm usually a fan of trading down to get more picks, and I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, the Raiders have missed on their first round picks, so that's why they should do it. I do think the Rams are doing something pretty impressive where they still have 8 picks this year. They haven't had a first round pick since 2016 actually, and they've had the best record in the NFL since that time span. Hitting on first round picks is a difficult thing, but hopefully the Raiders can get it done. The only reason why I don't think the Raiders will do it is because the draft is in Las Vegas, and the NFL is probably going to want them to have a first-round pick with the draft being in Vegas.